Welcome back to the Maximum Chillage podcast. My name is Chewy Sanchez. With me, as always,
Tiki Mike. I just wanted to say I appreciated how well coordinated that opening of the can was.
You know what? If it's not doing ASMR, I don't want it. This is a very special edition of the podcast. This is our very first Halloween edition of the podcast. I love Halloween. Halloween is next Tuesday. We won't be on until next Friday. So, therefore, this is the Halloween edition. Mike, I saw that you posted on Instagram that you were looking for invites.
Oh, Halloween invites?
Did you get any Halloween invites?
I had one before I posted that, but...
you didn't like it? So you're like, oh,
no,
this one,
it's,
better have my options going.
Kind of. No, not really. It wasn't the direct person's invite. You know, I don't feel, like I should just wander into people's homes being... just wandering in,
I know, you're like 28 now. That was cool when we were 18.
Nah, it was weird even then, man, because, not when we were 18, but I remember doing it when I was like 21, and I got called out on it, like, hey, who are you? And I was like, fuck, I came with that guy.
Is that the time you almost started in a fight? When you were wearing a puffy blue jacket?
No, I wasn't wearing a puffy blue jacket. No, I know what you're talking about. No, that was like an 80s party. That wasn't even a Halloween party. I was in a penguin suit. I was reusing a costume.
For being such a putsy guy, you've always been the most Halloween guy I know. You always have a good costume.
I like Halloween, man.
You always have your face painted or a fucking penguin costume.
You gotta have something lying around just in case.
I don't. That's my problem right now.
Oh shit!
I don't have anything. Halloween's coming up, and I don't have shit.
Yeah.
But speaking of
we'll
Instagram,
talk later about that.
We'll talk. We'll jump into that. Speaking of Instagram, follow us on Instagram at Maximum Chillage. We're up to 500 followers on Instagram and Twitter, which we have like 12. But nevertheless, follow us on both of those platforms. iTunes, we're there. Follow us on iTunes, subscribe to our podcast, and please leave us a review. I saw that a few people were leaving us reviews. I really, really appreciate that. And Mike.
Hey, also, if you don't have an iPhone, you have an Android, being a little odd, we're on various podcast apps, so just check out any podcast app.
Which ones are we on?
We're probably on it. I don't even know, dude. But I keep on hearing from random people that we're on them.
I like it.
So that's cool.
All right, let's jump right into this Halloween edition of the podcast. Today, we're going to talk about our favorite Halloween memories. The best scary movies on Netflix, according to Esquire. We're going back to Esquire. Your favorite TV special growing up. Because you know what? Halloween is about TV specials. Christmas can try to claim that if they want to, but nah. Christmas specials don't even touch the Halloween specials.
Those are just heartfelt, but they're not exciting.
Yeah. And we're going to talk about some scary stories, some real scary stories that I know, that I like. Michael said that there was a Bigfoot sighting in this area. We'll jump in on that. And the World Series is actually going on, which is not Halloween, but it is October. You can't talk about October without talking about the World Series. So, number one, favorite Halloween memory. Michael, go. Since this is one of your favorite Halloween, your favorite holidays, sorry.
Okay, favorite Halloween memories. Growing up, my family did decorate on Halloween. And,
really?
Yes, there was even a stuffed person made out of newspaper and old clothes.
Your family decorates for a lot of things because I'm pretty sure there's a nativity still in your front lawn.
Nah, that's not true. Okay, but touching on that, similar. One year when I was growing up, maybe about when I was 4, I don't know. But my dad was putting together all these old clothes and making this paper dude, just a bunch of old stuff paper. They must have been collecting paper all goddamn year for this. and they made a guy, and he sat on the bench, and he was there. And that dude just became a fixture of my front porch for the next 5 years, 7 years.
That just sounds laziness.
Until the guy just, he was a part of the Halloween setup with the other Halloween decorations during that season, during the fall season. And then during the rest of the year, he would just move off to the side and was more of a scarecrow guy. I mean, what are you going to do? You're going to throw away that guy? You're going to throw him away and then make another one the next year? You know how much newspaper you'd have to collect? I'm sure we did collect the newspaper, but the stuffing of it and, oh man, just getting more clothes just put in there. And yeah, no, but that guy was cool, man. He had a little mustache and a face. But not just that. my mom was actually really good at making costumes and so my sister loved also being part of the Halloween fixtures on Halloween night.
Oh, so she would scare kids.
She would be sitting there in a robe with either a black mask. One year it was like a hockey mask that had like a stocking over it with a splatter paint design, and she would sit there with this bowl of candy, and kids would just be so scared to walk up to it, and they didn't know if it was real or not, and then they would start to go for the candy. My sister would grab their hand, and it scared the shit out of them. No, but the parents loved it. They loved it. The kids would scream, but then some would love it. And, then one year she was like this vine fixture person. I don't know how to explain that. She was like covered in like vines and disguised into the scenery, also with the candy. And, so stuff like that.
Houses that I hated.
Dude, those.
So when I would go trick-or-treating, I would first stake out the house. So I'd be like, oh, I'm going to watch these kids go up first. Because if these fools scream, I'm not going. Because I didn't want that shit, dude. I didn't want the person jumping out, the fucking grown-ass adult scaring kids. There's one house that I remember in the rich side of town. They used to have a full Ghostbusters setup, like a car.
That's pretty sick.
And then the 3 mannequins but dressed up like Ghostbusters. That was always my favorite house. Because they just had the music going, just and then the little fucking fog machines. Anybody who had a fog machine, shout out to you if you own a fog machine. That's like above and beyond to me. That's like my favorite part of Halloween. If your house has a black light and fog machine, that's legit. But my favorite memory growing up about Halloween is probably going to our friend's house that lives in the country. You remember that guy?
Oh, yeah.
I'm not going to drop his name.
Yeah, but I know who you're talking about.
So we would go over there, and his dad would get all into it. He was probably pedo off his ass. He was
high off of his ass.
Probably high off his ass, to be honest with you.
Didn't realize that till after high school.
So he had 3 like pine trees, big pine trees in front of his house. And they live in the country. I'm from the city, so I don't really know the country life or anything. He told us this story that during Halloween, those pine trees come to life, and they take kids. And I knew it was a story, but at the same time, I'm like, fuck those pine trees. And I think that's where I got my love for country living was from that guy and those 3 pine trees.
Makes sense, man.
And yeah, it was just a high man smoking. He was always smoking cigars, but I bet you they were spliffed with weed. Shout out to that guy. I love him a lot. But that's my favorite memory. What was your favorite costume growing up? That you wore?
Yeah, my favorite costume growing up, I think, also was when I was young. It was probably a lot more badass in my mind. I was pretty young, but I know I had a drawn-on mustache and I had a fucking sword. And I was Captain Hook. Hook, and it was pretty badass from what I remember.
Did your mom make it or did you buy it?
I'm sure she made it.
You know what?
Because that sewing machine was always going about October 29th.
All right.
October 29th and October 30th. She was kind of last minute on it, but always getting it together right at the end. And I'm sure I had a handmade, Captain Hook costume. I loved it. And I fucking loved that sword for years after.
Hook?
Oh, I had a plastic hook.
Dang.
I had a plastic hook that was pretty cool.
Or no?
I don't think it was from Disneyland. I don't know where it was from. But I was taking that sword and I was fighting pirates for years to come until I broke it in half, stabbing the recliner. I fucking love that costume.
That sounds like a legit costume. Have you been to the Halloween store lately? Within the last couple of years?
Last year I did.
Okay,
I went to a couple.
Like I just asked you, was it bought or was it made? It doesn't matter if it was bought because even today with the modern advancements of modern technology and all the cancer fighting things and everything on these phones that have the internet, all the costumes still suck. And all of them are still pretty cheaply made.
You really think that?
I think they suck, man. When you go to the Halloween store, I expect them to be like all grandiose.
Oh, well, no.
You know what my problem is?
No, okay.
I'm expecting Hollywood quality. I'm expecting to look like the character.
No, you got to be handmade for anything like that. Anything like that's got to, you have to put in the detail. any mass-produced, try to sell at $70 a costume, at $10 a material tops.
Yeah.
Dude,
they're expensive.
They're not gonna. Yeah, they are, dude. I fucking hate it. Fucking hate it. You gotta buy next year's costume.
Yeah.
A week after Halloween, when all the prices are slashed.
All the stuff that you want to be next year hasn't come out yet.
That's true.
So when I was a kid, I hated the costume my mom brought me. My mom actually went to the Halloween store. Actually, I don't know where she went. She could have went to Kmart. I don't know, but it was one of the bought costumes. And she was like, "Oh yeah, you're gonna love it. It's like you're like a skeleton." I was like, "Fuck yeah!" In my head, it's like a onesie with like skeleton like bones, like actual like 3D bones coming out.
Oh, okay. Not in the material. You're saying actual bones sticking on the material.
Yeah. And then there's gonna be a full helmet that has a skull on it.
The full helmet would be cool.
So my mom brings it home, and it's a Goosebumps brand, like a onesie that the skull is printed on it.
Yeah.
And I'm a kid, so I'm like, in my head, I'm like, this sucks. I don't want to be this. Like you hype this up, lady, and you're not delivering.
You know what though? I'm gonna say from the skeleton costumes that I've seen, I think the print looks better than
Hold
the.
on.
Yeah. Okay.
The print was pretty badass. There's a heartfelt. There's a happy ending to this.
Oh, okay.
And then the mask was like one of those cheap.
Yeah, the
plastic
one just on the
mask,
face,
just on the
and
face.
it doesn't cover even the fucking half
of your
part
head
of the head.
is exposed.
Yeah.
That was my favorite costume. I didn't know it then though.
Oh,
at the day of Halloween, I was like, "This fucking sucks. I look like a piece of shit. I look like dirty brown trash water." But later on in life, I remember her coming home. I remember where I was when she gave it to me, and that was my favorite costume. But if you could be any costume, money wasn't an issue. Special effects makeup wasn't a thing. Like you could do special effects makeup in your sleep. What would you be?
Oh man, I'd be Tim Curry in Legend.
I have no idea what that is.
Oh fuck, dude! You've never seen Tim Curry when he's like,
isn't
this
Tim
devil?
Curry it?
Yeah,
Okay.
that guy.
Yeah.
When he's like playing this like devil character.
Is that why you're
in
always
movie
the
It?
devil? Is that the devil that you posted on Instagram?
No, not at all.
Oh, okay.
No, dude, this guy is intense, man. He's got like full on bull horns and like a full on prosthetic chin and like, dude's badass, man. I feel like you're looking him up right now,
No,
but
I'm not.
You should be. But check it out later. I'm just going based on your whole idea of like cosmetics are not an
nothing's
issue.
a thing. Money's not a thing.
Yeah, I mean that
You
fool's
be whatever
got
you want.
That guy's got full on fucking hoof legs, hoof legs and all sorts of shit. That would be cool, man.
I'm a lot more simple than you are.
Okay, yeah.
If I could be anything,
yeah, what's that?
Stormtrooper.
Oh, like legit
Like
stormtrooper,
a legit one. And the guy who built the first suit for Hollywood, he has nothing going on for him. So you can still buy a Stormtrooper original cast for like $2,000.
Yeah,
That's not that much.
There's some cheaper ones that are pretty decent.
That are legit, like from him.
They're pretty not from him, but that are decent.
I've seen some do it yourself out of PVC pipe.
No, not do it yourselves. Like there's companies that do it, and they do all the different variations. If you want to do the Moon of Endor, or if you want to do Battle
How
on
much are
Hoth,
those?
they're gonna be like $600-800 to
That's more doable than the
1,200.
$2,000 that I was thinking.
But dude, there's some out there. I've seen them in person at that Anime Expo. There were some like legit cosplayers that were they bought those suits. The only thing that they don't have are boots for them, and that's what kind of like takes away a little bit from it. You look at their shoes; they're just wearing white tennis shoes. Some are wearing like white Converse. There's just beat up white tennis shoes, and it takes away from a little bit. But most of the pictures are going to be from the top, and also you got to take into factor you're going to have to buy a blaster, which is separate. And
it's like $16
to have a legit
Target.
blaster though, a legit blaster,
a legit one.
I mean,
The helmet's what gets me.
helmet,
I've always liked helmet costumes.
helmet costumes. Yeah,
I always
get
wanted
it.
to be a Power Ranger, but with the full helmet. And they
just the face mask would be stupid.
the face mask.
It's like, what's the goddamn
I was
point?
a Power Ranger. I was the Blue Ranger, I think. I was Billy.
Billy.
The legit of the pack.
What do you mean? He's the one that stayed the
I wanted to be
longest in the
Jason,
cast.
bro.
But Billy
Everybody wanted to be Jason, bro.
everybody else either got fired
Jason was
or
banging the
moved
Pink
on.
Ranger, bro. Hey, you think about that? You think about that when we were kids, it was insinuated that he was banging the Pink Ranger.
It was insinuated that they were dating. I don't know about banging.
Full on banging, dude. Full on. That was too much for me as a kid. I feel like through a premature puberty watching the Power Rangers.
I doubt they had an abstinence episode, but I wouldn't put it past them.
You remember the Yellow Ranger became a porn star, right?
Trini?
Yeah.
Are you sure? I know she's dead.
Yeah, she became a porn star and then died.
Oh, wow. That's what porn leads to.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's the abstinence episode that came seasons
later. She probably did all methy after that. Not that all porn stars are methy. But
it's a legitimate line of work. So, no judgment.
No judgment. I mean, you do what you do.
You do a service to a lot of people, actually. There'd be a lot of, I feel like, earlier suicides or earlier acting outs. I don't know what to call it if that wasn't there.
Shout out to porn. No, but so my more doable one that I would do, that's very attainable, but I never start thinking about Halloween. I start thinking about start thinking about
you start
Halloween,
thinking about it, but getting the costume
to this
ready.
Podcast, we were talking about this the first day of October.
Yeah.
But costume wise, I don't start thinking about it till the week of. And it's too late to buy it unless you have Amazon Prime, which I don't have, and it's too late to buy it if you don't have any money, like I don't have. Around this time, I'm always broke for some reason. I don't know why. The Halloween. Oh, the fair.
Why.
The fair.
Oh, the fair.
I spend a lot of money at the fair every time I go to the fair. So. Yeah,
I'm looking at a purchase right over there.
$60, and it's just sitting there. I bought a Sharks, San Jose Sharks,
non-licensed, mosaic.
No, not a mosaic. What is it? Glass, stained glass.
Stained glass.
Yeah.
That is. Yeah,
$60. So that was $60 alone. Let alone not talking about the $10 of parking and the $12 entry fee and the $12 in cinnamon rolls that I buy. But so I'm always broke. I want to just be Wilfred. That's all I want to be. Wilfred from the FX show.
The dog?
Yeah.
Wait, what do you mean?
I just want to buy the Wilfred suit, the dog suit.
Oh, yeah. No, dude, you know what? You're better off making it because I've seen the one on FX. Man. The one on FX is horse shit, dude.
How much is it?
I don't remember. It was like
1 year 60. I went to the FX website
to remember
buy
looking
the Sons of Anarchy vest to be a Sons of Anarchy member. $210.
That's probably a legit one.
No, it's probably legit, but I can't walk around with that without a Hell's Angel saying, "What's this fucking guy doing?"
Dude, I kind of judge some of the guys. I've seen actual people legit at my work, like customers that have like vests, and it has the Sons of Anarchy. Because I'm like, oh, they got a vest. I wonder what club this is. Because every now and then there's one period of the year
like they'll wear it.
Yeah,
not Halloween.
There's one period of the year East Bay Dragons roll through Fresno.
Is that? I'm sorry. Is that the African American club?
That's the African American club that's associated with the Hells Angels. Them and like 3 other groups that are associated with them. They buy up all of the hotels along the 99.
The hooker hotels.
Yeah. They buy up all those hotels.
What's that called? Parkway Drive.
Parkway Drive.
Shout out to Parkway Drive. Not the band. Don't ever look up the band. Don't pause this right now and look up Parkway Drive. They're terrible.
They buy out all the hotels, and they come in the store buying all of the alcohol and cigarettes, and they're just like hella fucking having a hella good time. Dude, they're coming in droves of motorcycles, just blasting different tunes. I don't know how they listen to it because their partner's right next to them blasting a different song, and but they roll up real heavy, real deep, and they just buy all kinds of liquor, and they have.
It was always my dream to be in a
motorcycle
ride. Club.
They have a ride once a year.
Have you ever wanted to be in a motorcycle club?
Anybody watching 5 seasons deep of Sons of Anarchy wants to get into
Sons of Anarchy,
a motorcycle club.
I was like infatuated with the Hells Angels. Like I've always had this weird thing, just like I wish I could be an angel,
dude.
I wish I could push meth with the angels.
Ever since I saw, Pee Wee Herman mixing it up in the bar singing songs about tequila, I thought that'd be cool.
What was your favorite Halloween candy?
Halloween candy
to get?
Yeah.
So I definitely had my least favorites.
It's You know, I think
Reese's. That's what I wanted.
Oh, dude, you
Reese's.
know what?
You did
I'm
Reese's?
going to change my
I
answer
loved
to
you.
Reese's.
Yeah.
I'm going to change my answer to Reese's. I was just about to say Crackle, which is like the off-brand of like Crunch.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that pretty much most chocolates in general. Fuck any hard candies.
No, what about nerds?
Minus
I like nerds.
nerds were whatever. Smarts were okay. I liked those.
Smarties?
Smarties? Is that what they
Yeah.
were called? Oh no, I just
Smarties.
remember kids on the playground saying, "Taking your smart pills." I'm getting real smart.
That's how you got hooked on.
That's how
ecstasy.
kids got hooked on ecstasy and Xanax and all kinds of pill popping.
I remember kids would smash those up and snort them, pretend like they were doing coke.
Really?
Yeah.
I never.
You know
saw
what
that.
they're doing right now?
Coke.
Coke, yeah.
Yeah.
Those kids. I could name drop all the way. I could name drop for hours talking about all the kids who did that, but I won't. But yeah, so it was like Smarties. Smarties, you're responsible for a lot of people's drug addictions. I remember getting off of school after Halloween, and then all the kids would bring their candy, and kids would go to the fire hydrant on the corner of our street is Academy and
Yeah.
like a number street.
Yeah.
They'd crush them up on the fire hydrant and be like, check this out. And then all the girls would be like, whoa. And then all the guys would be like, whoa.
Hey, speaking of that, you know, in our town, they had that downtown thing. Did you do the downtown thing
Never.
more, or the
I always
neighborhood?
went to the rich side of town, which was
The rich
like,
side of town, yeah.
That's where I went.
Yeah.
Well, that's where I was like from. Because
Uh-huh.
that's where my babysitter was from, so I felt
Yeah.
like I was a part of that area.
That's where your school is.
That's where
yeah.
my school was, on
Yeah.
the rich side of town. I was from your jit side of town. I actually was from your jit side of town,
Yeah.
which is like second tier. But my side of town was first tier, and my family didn't want me going to that second tier school, so they lied about their address for years.
Oh man, same. That's
Oh,
why
yeah,
that's
you were
why I
supposed
was
to go-
going.
you were supposed
that's
to
why
go
I was
to
supposed
the
to go to that
lowest
school,
school.
but I used my grandma's address to go to the other school.
Oh, yeah, that's what it's all about, dude. Lying about addresses to go to better schools. That's what us poor folk have to do to get a quality education in the
You know,
in the
where
United
books
States of America.
where books aren't talking about civil rights being a problem in the future. You know,
So there was a list. So if you're like me, you won't have any plans on Halloween. I never do. I never have plans on Halloween.
what about Halloween weekend?
Well, I'm doing a pub crawl.
Oh, well, you're doing a pub crawl.
On Friday, I'm going to be doing a pub crawl in downtown Merced. It costs $15, and they have all kinds of drink specials.
It costs money?
Yeah, it's weird because I've never heard of a pub crawl costing money, and I've never heard of a pub crawl having a time limit.
Ooh,
The
weird.
pub crawl's
Well,
only going from 5, which I thought was a weird time. Yeah, 5 to
early.
9.
Okay. 9 is really bad. I mean, I could get 10, 30, but 9, that's pretty early. But you know
very-
that's okay, I guess.
Well, here's some of the
That's pretty cool.
specials that they're giving. So there's a pizza by the slice place that's giving a free beer with every pizza slice that you get.
That's cool.
Limit 1 per customer. Just
Limit 1 per customer.
Yeah,
I
'cause
mean,
that's-
I'd get two slices easy.
so there. Yeah,
can
I would
get 2 beers
Honestly,
easy.
I really would.
Yeah.
2 slices, 2 beers. I'd be down for that. There's a place giving 1 free taco per person, no purchase necessary. You just walk
Oh.
into the taco shop, get a free taco. So that's part of your $15 there. That's J&R Tacos.
That's cool. So they all they all pay into this one thing or they all get comped somehow. That's cool.
Yeah. It's just participating locations are doing it. Trevino's, that's where I'm going to be because they have $5 Frankenstein margaritas. I don't know what it is, but I'm in.
Hey, you know what? I'm a little mad though.
Why?
Because you never wanted to go to a pub crawl with me. You kind of judged me on going to pub crawls. I fucking love them.
You know-
I just don't go to them anymore.
You know, when your girl asks you to go to something, you go to it. That's
Oh,
how
dude,
it is.
You'll find out. It's pretty fun.
Yeah, probably. I'm pretty stoked for it. I don't want to go with you, though.
Dude, they're awesome, man. If you're hanging out with your friends.
Bella Luna has $5 craft beers and $5 Angry Balls, which I feel is overpriced. Which Bella Luna's is actually a very fine establishment, so they don't want the riffraff going in. They're like, you know what? Charge $5 for the Angry Balls, because we still had to serve dinner to people.
I do have a question about this. What are you going dressed as?
Face paint.
Face paint.
Skull.
Skull.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's okay. That's
I
cool.
was thinking about just wearing a hockey jersey a la Kevin Smith, and then doing a hockey mask like a Jason, but I was like, nah, I don't want to look like
Hey,
a
man.
jit.
Dude, how about this, man? got this cool ass leather jacket. Not the leather jacket that I wear, but
Does
different
it say
leather
Daddy
jacket.
loves leather?
No. It was my uncle's leather jacket that he wore when he rode bike. It's this leather jacket, cool ass goblin mask that still has a functional mouth so that you could still be drinking away. That's sick as fuck, dude. If you have some gloves added onto that, you're fucking set, dude.
I'm not wearing any mask that you've worn. O'Reilly's Bar and Grill has $4 kamikaze shots. Speaking of
I don't wanna talk
margaritas,
to you
though.
anymore.
Speaking of margaritas, I went to Applebee's this past weekend where they
I read
have
it.
dollar margaritas.
I read a report that it's mostly water.
No, man, I got buzzed as fuck.
Oh, I'd like to see a drinker get buzzed as fuck.
Yeah, I'm not a drinker, but I mean, it doesn't matter to me. I still got the buzz. I'm over here drinking Foster's, Australian for beer.
Oh, yeah.
You're drinking Bud Ice. I mean, we didn't do the beer review. Let's do the
No,
beer
we're not
review
doing
really
any
quick.
beer reviews. Are we doing beer reviews on these? These are pretty well-established beers that...
I feel like
mine is a beer that, you know...
Nobody drinks Foster's anymore, man.
People balling on a budget
I don't think
drinks.
anybody's ever tried a Foster's.
You don't think anybody's... Because it's just a 90s beer?
Yeah.
I think some people buy it for the can novelty.
That's why this was actually my first beer I ever bought.
Really?
When I was a child, I was straight edge, and I claimed it. And I'll throw.
You did, dude. You threw hella shade at me, dude.
I'll put myself out there. I'll throw myself under the bus.
Judged me since I was 16, you
I was
bitch.
straight edge, and I listened to no straight edge bands.
Honestly, you didn't really.
No, I didn't like straight edge bands. I thought they were lame. But I was straight edge. But the first day I turned 21, and on my 21st birthday, one of our friends, who was a heavy drinker, just by me saying that, you know who he is, and he knows
No,
who
I
he
know
is,
who you're talking about.
bought me a Foster's for my birthday.
I want to know, did you... Wait, hold on a second. So you broke edge on the 21st?
I don't think so. I think he just had a thing for me on the weekend of
Oh, okay.
at his apartment. And he was like, hey, I'll buy you a beer. And he bought me a Foster's, and I drank it, and I thought it was delicious. First beer I ever had. I never even snuck beer when I was a kid.
Hey, how about I never went to that apartment?
That's fucked up.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Foster's, that's what I'm drinking today. The most Christmas of beers. Christmas
Halloween of beers.
I was meaning to get pumpkin ale. Walmart doesn't
Dude,
carry it.
You know what? I'm
That's
not
what
even
I
a
wanna
big
talk
fan
about.
of pumpkin ales.
It's either a hit or a miss with everybody about pumpkin ales.
They're whatever to me. They're not great.
They're not bad,
I know our friend Bobby, who's also been on this podcast.
No, he doesn't like pumpkin
He loves
ales.
them.
Yes,
Dude,
he does. Yes, he does.
he posts them all the
He
time.
likes Headless Horseman, or what is it called? The one he likes?
I don't even know. I don't even pay attention because I don't like pumpkin ales really that much.
I don't think they're that bad.
They're not bad. They're not like
So I was
terrible,
buying it at
but
Target.
I don't feel like buying them.
I was
though.
at Target checking out with some pumpkin ale. I bought some pumpkin ale. Some Sam Adams, I think. No, it wasn't Sam
Samuel
Adams.
Adams has a pumpkin ale.
Okay, so it was Sam Adams pumpkin ale. I was looking for Oktoberfest, which is not
Yeah.
a pumpkin ale, but you
Yeah.
associate it with pumpkin because it's October. But it's actually
Well, it's
very
just a
good.
German.
Yeah. I was looking for that. They didn't have any, so we got some pumpkin ale. And the girl who was checking me out said, "This stuff sucks so much." And I'm like, "Well, you know what? It's very you like it or you don't." She's like, "No, it just sucks." I was like, "Well, some people liked it and some people don't." You know, it's just different strokes for different folks. You know. And she's like, this sucks so much. I've never had something taste so bad." And I was like, "It's actually all right." But so that's what I was meaning to get today, but we didn't get it. So Esquire, we seem to drop their names a lot. Shout out to Esquire. If you want to give us a... Michael doesn't like them. And we'll see if you like them after this.
Drop an endorsement.
Esquire. When you want to read a magazine that's been canceled for years, go to their website, esquire.com, where you can find the latest, best pop culture news. No, but esquire.com released the 10 best movies on Netflix. That's what I was getting to.
Halloween movies.
If you're like me, scary movies.
Uh-huh.
If you're like me and you have no plans on Halloween, Netflix is always a good thing to go to. You need to watch some scary movies. So the top 10, I will start the list. You let me know at the end what you agree with and what you don't. Number 1, Young Frankenstein. Number 2, Saw. The Babadook, Hush, Hellraiser, Sleepy Hollow, everybody's favorite Johnny Depp movie, Gerald's Game, Train to Busan, and The Addams Family. Which ones of those do you like?
You also missed It Follows.
It Follows. I've never even heard of that movie, yeah.
Okay, so
Young Frankenstein is like a classic.
I haven't seen all of these movies.
Neither have I. Some of them are new.
So I did some research on some of them just to at least get the storyline behind them.
One of them went to the Cannes. I think It Follows went to the Cannes Film Festival. That means it's pretentious.
Okay, so Young Frankenstein. What's your
Young Frankenstein is a classic. It's not a scary movie. If you want to watch a movie that's like, if you want to watch a movie with your kids or just,
you want to watch some campy fun,
watch.
Oh, I don't know about kids. There's some very strong
sexual stuff
innuendo
going on in there.
Yeah,
Peter Boyle's in there being all weird. The guy who plays Charlie Willy Wonka.
Why can't I think of his
I can't remember his
name?
He's a legend though. The guy who plays Willy Wonka is the main character, who is the guy who makes Frankenstein.
Dr. Frankenstein.
Yeah.
He has to clarify that he's Frankenstein.
In Young Frankenstein, where the hunchback guy,
where his hump changes,
keeps adjusting his hump,
and he keeps on looking at him like, did it change? Yeah. No, yeah, man.
You should watch Young Frankenstein if you want like a laugh on Halloween. Saw, one of the first movies to ever like kick off the gore.
I'm not a fan of gore flicks, unless you're looking at it just for campiness, which these don't. The Saw movies and the Hostel movies, they're not going for campy so much. They're going for like a legitimate horror film, and I don't feel like gore is really like actually horror. I know that sounds weird, but
gore's not horror. Gore's just grossing you out.
It's just gross out factor films. These movies, I think they're trying to still be horror though. Like Eli Roth's movies and this guy's movies, I don't know if they're going for that campy like I Eat Your Skin movies, like the weird B films of the 70s that were just like fun, just like gross you out like horror kind of films, not like legitimate like, oh, I'm fucking scared and terrified. This is a terrifying movie. This is gonna stick with me forever. So I'm just not a huge fan of the Saw films where somebody's sitting in a room waiting mostly until they just get horribly disfigured. I'm
not gonna lie though, I did like the Saw movies when I was in high school.
Did
I
you
borrowed
really?
all the Saw movies from a guy who really liked Saw.
Oh, I know who you're talking about.
I never gave them back. I kept like the 4 that were out at the time. I still have them. If he listens to this podcast, you can't have them back because I don't know where they are. But I liked them. I genuinely liked the who. I wanted to know who it was. I like the mystery of it, I guess.
Of the guy that's behind the thing?
Yeah.
I guess that's interesting if you want to watch it for that kind of factor. But mostly, I'm not a huge fan of them.
What about Addams Family? It's a classic.
Addams Family.
I don't like it.
Campy goodness, man. It's just a funny film. It's not...
Is Peter Boyle in that again?
No, not at all. It's
who's Uncle Fester?
Uncle Fester is... We talked about this in another podcast. It's Christopher Lloyd.
Oh, Christopher Lloyd.
Yeah, because I said that's one of his best roles. I forgot what you thought was his best role. But you fought me on the...
Camp Nowhere.
Oh, okay.
Camp Nowhere.
Okay.
Did I tell you about Camp Nowhere?
What about it?
The premise of it? If you don't want to watch a scary movie, watch Camp Nowhere. Camp Nowhere is Christopher Lloyd. If you don't know who Christopher Lloyd is, he's the mad scientist from the shitty movie Back to the Future.
You're a fucking idiot.
All these kids don't want to go to the camp that they have to go to. So, like, the kids, the theater kids have to go to theater camp. The kids who are fat have to go to fat camp. The other kids have to go to regular, like, campy totem pole camp. None of them want to go to that camp. So they're like, what if we start our own camp and convince all of our parents to send us there? They're like, well, where could we do that? So then they found this weird guy working at as Christopher Lloyd. He had a really shitty job, and he was friends with one of the kids, been like a weird friend-kid relationship. And he was like, hey, if we start a camp and we could pay you and we can pay for the camp, will you monitor it so you can be our adults? And he's like, nah, I don't want any part of that. They're like, well, we got like 100 G's for you. And he's like, well, fuck. And they give him all the money because camp's expensive. They pay him. And then with the rest of the money, they buy everything they've ever wanted. So there's jet skis, there's paintball guns, there's the blob. You know, you jump down and you jump on it in a creek or a lake. And they buy all this shit.
So this movie not only is just a funny movie. It literally has nothing to do with Halloween.
Oh, no. But it's a good movie to watch on Halloween. Which, I mean, good transition. What's your favorite Halloween movie?
My favorite
Scary
horror movie,
rather.
My favorite scary movie? I've talked about this on an early podcast.
Well, no.
I don't know if
it got deleted.
Oh, it got
it's
deleted.
It's a lost episode.
It's a lost episode. Yeah. Oh, okay. My favorite terror film, horror movie, whatever, is The Thing. John Carpenter's The Thing. That movie is genuinely terrifying. It's suspenseful. It's scary. It's in the middle of nowhere. And basically, there is this camp of researchers out in like Antarctica, an uncivilized area. No reason to have any life forms whatsoever. They're out there doing some kind of project. I don't even remember what the project was about, but they come across this dig kind of thing where there is this dig. There is this metal under the ice that there's, I mean, from the layers of ice that they determine it's like before human like civilization. Yeah. So eventually some of them start experiencing this sickness, and they start to turn into something. This thing can replicate itself into any living being, pretty much, into posing as somebody. So whether that's a dog that they have at the camp or it's a human, they don't know who the thing is. But this thing is constantly adapting to things, and it's basically trying to replicate itself. And it's terrifying. Kurt Russell's in it when he's pretty young, and he does a great job. And I think, yeah, I mean, it's just one of my favorite movies. Also, it's not even just my favorite horror movie. It's like one of my favorite movies. And it also, I love that there's no CGI in it. It was before CGI. It's all practical effects, and they do a really good job where it's not cheesy and campy. It's a really great use of practical effects. And, I mean, practical effects will always be way more terrifying to me than CGI. Just because, I mean, they look real. So, anyways, that's my pick.
So I don't have a favorite scary movie because I don't really watch scary movies all that much. Growing up, I didn't really like scary movies. I saw The Exorcist, and it scared the shit out of me.
It was.
I like things that could be real, but might not be real. So exorcisms, what are they called when they get in your body?
Possessions?
Possession seemed real to me as a kid because I was a Catholic. So possession seemed real to me. So I was like, fuck, that's scary. So when I got home, I didn't see The Exorcist till I was older, when there was still dial-up internet. So I was like, how do you know if you're possessed? So I Googled it, and it said, usually every person who gets possessed will always hear scratching on their window, followed by like really cold temperature in your room, and there's always flies present when there's a evil entity. So I was like, well, I think I heard scratches outside. But, I mean, obviously I was never possessed, otherwise you'd hear about it right now. But that's the kind of shit that scared me. But I didn't have, like, a favorite scary movie, per se.
Hey, you want to know why that movie scared me? It wasn't even from watching the movie. I don't remember which wax museum it was, but I went to a wax museum.
Madame Tussauds.
And that was one of the exhibits, was her sitting in the bed, just her head twisting, and I could not look at it, dude.
So I
had to keep walking.
I was not that old when I saw it. I was still young.
Uh-huh.
So I came home from watching that movie.
Yeah.
And I was pissed at my sister, and like they were fixing something in her room like everybody was. And she was in there, and I was like, "You cocksucker!" And my dad was like, "Don't you ever say." He like wasn't even mad. He was just like, "Don't ever say that again." Just that was it. Just don't ever say that again, because he knew obviously that I didn't know what it was. But yeah, fuck that movie. I saw another movie recently, actually, around October 1st, because I was trying to get in the mood. I always try to get in the October Halloween mood early. It was called Ouija. Bad movie, not that good. Have you ever played with a Ouija board, though?
I played with it when I was a kid.
How was your experience? I've never done it, never will.
It wasn't scary. It was really just my sister making stupid ass fucking jokes. Like, I don't even know if I could read at the time, but it was just like, what are you going to be in the future? And it was just like, hers were like doctor.
Yours was
and
nothing, and it came true.
Mine was like clown, which, what am I these
that
days?
almost came true. That's pretty much true now.
It actually kind of is, yeah. Wow. Wow, that Ouija board is something else,
I've never played with it, but I'm scared of it.
We lost it. We don't even know where it's at. I feel like it's buried.
Where it's at.
I feel like it's buried. Hasbro, I heard, carries a dead fingernail into the processing of every Ouija board. That's the only way to keep them. You want to get another?
You want another beer?
Yeah, for sure.
All right.
I didn't know how to ask that without interrupting the podcast.
it.
Anyways,
so I've never played with one, but the movie's premise is the family comes upon a Ouija board and a kid gets possessed.
Was it made by Hasbro?
No, that was pre-Hasbro buyout.
Actually, you know what? I think Hasbro
smart move on them.
Didn't they
bought it?
Finance the movie? I thought.
Did they?
I thought that another company. I know that I feel like the toy company, whoever is producing the board. I think I remember reading.
If you didn't know
that they produced the film so that people would start buying it.
The Ouija board is an old ancient thing. It's very old. What a Ouija board is you can ask spirits what it is. You have a little glass hole in either a wood or a cardboard little upside down heart shape. You can ask it what you want to know, and you put your hands on it, but don't touch it and don't guide it.
It's a seance.
It's like a seance, and it will
answer.
It'll answer without you touching it, without you guiding it. It'll tell you what you want to know. So the little girl was actually possessed by the demon because they say if you touch these things, you invite the spirits to come and get you. Yeah. So that's what that movie's about. I just wanted to know if I had a feeling that you played with Ouija boards.
Yeah, I did.
just had a feeling.
Yeah, I did.
And your sisters did too.
Hey, I'm gonna throw out other Halloween picks for the
throw them out. Yeah.
I haven't seen it, but the trailer looks good. On this list was a Stephen King film called Gerald's Game. That looks like horseshit. There is a different Stephen King movie on Netflix that looked pretty good called 1922. Just look at the trailer and you'll understand what I mean. It's set in 1922, of course. It's about a farmer dude who's like gonna get divorced, but he loves his land and just like has a scheme to kill his wife. But it's a lot more after that. It looks terrifying. So that movie looks good. Also, the original date for the release of Stranger Things was going to be the 31st.
Stranger Things
comes
They moved
it up
October
to the 27th. So you could binge all weekend.
I'm going
to.
As soon as I get back from that pub crawl, episode 1.
There you
Season
go.
2, episode 1.
So, check out Stranger Things. And
we've talked about Stranger Things on this before. I think it was more on the Lost episode. If you're not a fan of Stranger Things, it's on Netflix. This is very much goes along with what Netflix, our whole little thing here. Netflix has this special produced by Netflix about these kids. It's very much like Stephen King's It. It's a bunch of little kids, and there's a weird entity, and they're trying to figure out what the entity is that's stealing all the kids.
And they band together.
They ride some bikes. They listen to some weird 80s movie soundtracks music.
Yeah, throw in some like Joy Division, I want to say, in one episode.
Yeah, probably.
Some other shit. They have a character that's all into like 80s synth and punk rock.
Yeah, so watch Stranger Things. If you have nothing else to do, catch up on season 1, episode 1. And if this is news to you, season 2 comes out on October 27th. Hopefully you're listening before that. Another special, I just want to look out for my listeners, I just want to look out for them.
Oh, for sure.
If you're listening to this before Halloween, which is Tuesday, this comes out Friday, 9 a.m., which all of our episodes come out on Friday, 9 a.m. Chipotle is having a burrito special. You go into any participating Chipotle on Halloween, and you'll get a burrito for only $3 if you're dressed up in a costume. So, in years past, I always wanted to do it, dude. If you dressed up like a burrito, which essentially just meant wrap yourself in foil, you got a free burrito. And I always wanted to do it, but Halloween's always on a weird-ass day.
You want to know why it's a terrible idea?
Because you're wasting more money in foil.
Oh, yeah. Foil's expensive, dude.
Yeah.
Foil is really expensive. Yeah, just
so was a Chipotle burrito, though, man.
No, I know, but honestly, I think
the first time I ever
you
went
might
to
be
Chipotle,
spending the same
I
amount
was like,
of money.
I'm spending $6 on a fucking burrito.
Yeah,
So if we go to Taco Morales right now, they're probably like $6.
No, now they are.
Now they are.
Yeah, they're like
Back
five.
then they
they're like
weren't.
$5.50 now.
Back then they didn't used to be so burritos.
Yeah, they
used to
were
be
like
so
$3.
expensive. Yeah.
$3 for a fat
But
ass
the first
burrito
time I
that
paid
would
for-
like be a mission to eat back then.
Yeah.
I mean,
Back-
not so much now. No, I can
not
get
back
two.
like two.
I can get two if I want. You know.
We're in our heftier phases, you know? When you're older, you gotta eat more because you're in a die suit. I'm still growing, you know? I'm a growing boy. 28 years old, I still got a few more inches to grow. But yeah, I just want to look out for you guys. If you are dressed up on Halloween, which is a Tuesday, pop into Chipotle, get a burrito for $3.
You
Because
don't
they're
have,
like $7.
and it's any costume, not a burrito.
Yeah, you don't have to be dressed up as a burrito like in years past. Do you remember that promo that they had?
Vaguely.
Yeah, you used to have to dress up like a burrito, which was a lot of foil. But I mean, if you stole your mom's foil, which I always planned on doing, that would be a good deal. So, you said last week, which I didn't let you talk about, because I said save it for the Halloween episode.
Oh, yeah.
There was a Bigfoot sighting in our area of the world.
Yes, actually about maybe 10 miles from this location that the podcast is produced
Don't
at.
tell me that.
Bigfoot. Oh, shit, I got out of the site. Bigfoot reportedly sighted in Northern California. Pictures go viral. This is off of a Fox News site. You can say whether that's faux news, fake news, or not, you know. But that's the first affiliate that picked it up was Fox News. The legendary Bigfoot and other creatures like it have reportedly been spotted in Northern California lake, according to paranormal investigator Jeffrey Gonzalez, a self-described paranormal expert. Said he heard about the sighting from a local farmer who said he saw the creature and 5 others running on his ranch near Avocado Lake, which is about 10 miles from this location.
Yeah.
One of them, which was extremely tall, had a pig over its shoulder, Gonzalez said in comments obtained by Fox 26, a Fox News affiliate. And the 5 others scattered. The one with the pig was running so fast it didn't see an irrigation pipe and it tripped, with the pig flying over. So it doesn't say what happened to the pig. I don't know if the pig got away.
So you're saying that Fox News did it, but it was a Fox News affiliate.
Fox News. Well, Fox News picked it up. It was I first saw this on Yahoo's news page. But yeah, you know, yeah.
Let's talk about this guy, fucking Jeremy or Jeffrey, whatever his name is.
Gonzalez. Yeah, he's got a van.
So this guy lives in our town. We're from a really small town. It's full of a bunch of jits. Me and Mike are probably the only legit people, maybe my sister, who are from this town. Maybe one of my sisters if he likes her, but I'm not sure if he does. But this town sucks. Maybe John Fernandez and Michelle Fernandez. I'm not going to add any more people to that list. Those are the only legit people from this town. Maybe Santiago Mendoza. No, but really, like, there's a bunch of jits in this town. And this guy, Jeremy or Jeffrey or whatever his name is, Mendoza, I don't know his name.
I was going to invite him on the podcast, dude.
I'm not anymore. So this guy has a ambulance that he bought. He bought an old ambulance.
An old ambulance, yeah.
And
retrofitted.
And he put Sanger Paranormal Society on the side. And he goes to like the local farmers markets and he puts the sirens on so they're flashing while he's out there on this little booth preaching that he's seen aliens
and ghosts.
And ghosts. And
he was a huge fan. He was a super fan of the X-Files, I'm sure. But he will go with his team of other experts. And if you say that your house has a haunting, he will come free of charge with his other experts, stay the night, and do experiments to track and verify whether there actually is an entity at the premise.
Yeah, so this guy he's a quack. And he says that he saw a Bigfoot.
Hey, bro, he didn't say he saw it.
Well,
he said that another guy saw it. And if you read further in the article, there have been 2 or 3 other sightings.
Like I said,
near
this town is
Ashland
full of
and
jits.
Shields area. And how could there be so many sightings of this creature, man? Bro, Bigfoot's out there, dude.
And he's here in the Central Valley.
Missing
More
Link.
specifically, Sanger, California.
Wait, not dude. He's got
Can
the
we talk about the
right
other
here.
thing that was in Avocado Lake years ago?
What was that?
So years ago at Avocado Lake, there was another thing that was like a weird kind of like entity kind of thing.
Talking about the lady?
Yeah. No, not that.
Because that's on the
Not
other
that.
side of town.
No,
Okay.
no. There was a thunderstorm. One of the thunderbolts hit a tree.
Ooh. Oh.
And it made it look like
yeah.
the Virgin Mary, which it did. I went out there with my family.
Oh, did you actually see it
Yeah,
in
I went
person?
out there,
I saw
hell
the
yeah.
pictures of it. I never saw it in person.
I went out there with my family,
That's
and it
cool.
looked like the Virgin
Did you
Mary.
guys leave a candle?
I don't remember. Everybody, there was a lot of people out there at the time, but that was at Avocado Lake, and the reason why it's not there anymore is because I think it was
neo-Nazi.
Was it Gady?
It was Gady himself.
Gady himself.
Hey, look up Gady. Look up Prussian Blue. Those are his daughters.
Are they his daughters?
No, they're not his daughters. They're his granddaughters, though.
Are they really?
They
From
really are.
Bakersfield,
Yeah, they really
California?
are. Yeah.
Oh, so
Yeah.
No wonder they're pieces
The
of
whole
shit.
family has history.
Fuck you,
their
Gady.
their mother got arrested on Blackstone in Fresno.
I bet.
trying to do some stunt for a radio thing. I don't remember what the radio competition was, but she was riding topless on a horse down Blackstone and got arrested for it. Anyways, her
Our
granddaughters
friend that we said earlier in this podcast that we went to his house. He's friends with his son. And that's one of our... We were in that guy's wedding. Not his son, but his friend.
So yeah,
We had to wear cowboy boots. That was
the
mandatory.
Prussian Blue is a
Not kidding.
neo-Nazi group. I don't know if they're still doing it. About 10, 15 years
There were two
ago,
little blue-eyed
they were
girls
like
that
little
were blonde.
13-year-olds. They're like our age now, probably.
Yeah.
But
They sang that Hitler was
they
amazing.
sang Hitler songs and pro-white nationalist
Bluegrass
songs.
songs.
And Gady is this long-bearded dude that has a white truck that has a fucking swastika on the side of the truck that says Gady on the truck. All of his cattle are branded with swastikas, and he's just a dude that lives near us.
Did I tell you I saw him for the first time?
He chopped down the fucking tree that Chewy was talking
Yeah.
about because he doesn't like a lot of Latinos that are generally Catholic, and he doesn't like Catholicism, and he doesn't like Latinos, and so he fucking chopped down this tree without. It wasn't on his property; it was on another person's property. He chopped down this tree without anybody saying anything, and then they were like, "Well, is it a crime? Does that person have to charge him with something?" Yeah, but he was just doing it to be an asshole, and this is back in the day.
That was back when I was a kid.
This is pre-Trump times.
Yeah.
This is George W. times.
Oh, dude, he's so happy right now. I actually saw him at Walmart not too long
Recently,
ago.
yeah.
Wearing a Barack Obama shirt where Obama had a...
like a turban.
no, he had Joker makeup from...
Oh,
the
yeah.
the Joker from Batman.
Yeah.
And it said socialist on it. Or yeah.
Socialism or something. Yeah.
Yeah, fuck Gady. Fuck you. Come find me, bitch. I dare you. But
He will.
he will. Yeah.
He will. Don't throw that out there, dude. He will.
No, fuck that son of a bitch. So let's talk about... So speaking of scary fucking people, let's talk about some real life scary stories. Because I don't really like fake scary stories. I can tell you fake scary stories all day long. Let's talk about some real ones. So have you ever watched American Horror Story?
When I was a kid, I was terrified to go to the bathroom, and I'll tell you why. There was an empty room right across from the bathroom. There was this empty room that was always dark. The light was never on. I don't know if maybe the bulb was out and just never replaced it because nobody was ever sleeping in there, or I don't know. No, I was scared of this room because I was walking by one day, dude. I was walking by, Chewy. God damn it, I was walking by. You know me. I don't believe in anything these days, right? I don't believe in shit. I don't believe anything is real. I was walking by, and I saw a pair of jeans run across the room, and I was scared as shit. I didn't want to go take a piss at the middle of the night anymore.
Are you lying?
No, I'm being fucking serious. This is a real ass story, dude. I was fucking terrified of this room, and I would hold it in, trying to go back to sleep, hoping that I didn't piss myself because I didn't want to walk past this room to go to the bathroom in the middle of the night. Yeah. And that's also where I later in life, I started to realize that, like, why I stopped believing in religion and everything is because of this event. Because I was like, that is so real to me in my head was that I could still picture that pair of jeans running across the room and no body, above it, just a pair of jeans. I can picture it. And it was so vivid. But that was just my belief as a child and when I believed in things. And that,
that could be easily explained.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Schizophrenia.
Probably. No. I mean, I have a schizophrenic uncle. You remember him. He was big in this town. Again, this is a small town. I'm sure you remembered him, but I won't go into that right now.
All right.
I just took him to Rasputin. Rasputin's a West Coast music chain. I just had him sell like 30 movies for $70, and he was happy with that. And he sold like 30 DVDs and Blu-rays
for $7.
For $70.
Oh,
$70.
Wow.
Yeah. He got $70, and he bought some music and shit, and he's good. He's on his medication these days. He's a lot better. Anyways,
all right. So let's talk about some other real scary stories. That was pretty scary. I will always think about jeans running in a room from now on. Have you ever heard of American Horror Story Hotel? You've heard of American Horror Story, right?
I've heard of American Horror Story. I've watched the first season, but I've heard of Horror Story Hotel from you.
Yeah, so American Horror Story, every season is like, it progressively gets worse. Number 1, phenomenal. I think it should go down in history as one of the best horror TV series ever. Yeah. It was groundbreaking. I don't think there was any horror TV stories before that. Season 2, whatever. 3, whatever. 4, whatever. Ever since 1, it's just gone downhill. But I have liked a couple of the seasons. One of them being American Horror Story Hotel, where American Horror Story Hotel, it's with Lady Gaga. She's a vampire who lives on the top floor.
Can I just express that I have an admiration for that person?
Lady Gaga?
Yeah,
we'll talk about her in a second.
Okay.
So, Lady Gaga was in that show. It was actually pretty good. It's about a hotel that's haunted with a lot of spirits.
It's the Hollywood Hotel.
Yeah.
It's the one. Yeah, what's it called?
Well, the hotel
that it's based on.
So the Cecile Hotel is what it's based on. Uh-huh. It's not the Cecile anymore. So the Cecile Hotel opened in 1924, and it was a 700-room upper-class hotel, which was considered at the time to be a swanky-ass part of downtown LA. If you've been to downtown LA within the last 10 years, downtown LA is dead. There's nothing there but homeless people and nothing. Downtown LA kind of sucks. It's like a business area now. But back then, that was like where you wanted to be in 1924. So the Cecile Hotel was a big hotel. There's a lot of people who were going there. 1924, this is when Hollywood was getting big. Hollywood was like starting to be a thing. And because of that, a lot of people were moving to LA. And when you move to LA, you don't have the money to live in LA. And you want to be a star, you want to be all of this. A lot of people still do that. But back then it was even more so. They'd come from fucking Cleveland, Ohio to be a star. Mm-hmm. You end up living in hotels because you don't have any money. You end up realizing you don't have any you're never going to be a star. You start taking drugs. You start killing yourself. That started happening in the Cecile a lot later on in life. Because in 1924, it was kind of like the premier place, very expensive. But by the 30s, it started being like this place.
Like a rundown place.
Yeah, that transients would be in. Because of that, and if you believe in ghosts, most ghosts are tortured. They're souls that can't go anywhere because they just have
unfinished business. If you ever watch Casper.
Yeah. One of the most friendly, poor little guys ever. So that place just got a bad reputation of being a haunted place. There's just a lot of tortured souls. There was reportings of seeing people and all of that. So, it's just been known as a haunted hotel. But as recently as 2013, there was a tourist named Elisa Lam, who was a student from Canada who was staying at the Cecile when she was reported missing on January 31st, 2013. 2 weeks later, LAPD they let out a video of the last sighting of Elisa, and it was a very frightening video. If you ever want to see a frightening video on YouTube, honestly, we're always kidding when we say pause the video, but pause the video right now and go look up the Elisa Lam video on YouTube. welcome back from watching the Elisa Lam video on YouTube. So if you saw that, Elisa Lam is in a elevator shaft. She's inside the elevator, and she's freaking out like she just saw something. She ran into the elevator, and she's peeking out like, oh shit, that thing's coming for me. She's freaking out. The elevator door will not close, so she keeps peeking out like she just saw something. So then, while she's in the elevator, she's seen talking to somebody. There's nobody in the video. She's not talking to anybody in the video. So Michael's watching it right now. Go ahead and watch it while I talk about it.
I watched it before.
Oh, you watched it before.
Uh-huh.
So easily, all of that could be explained with schizophrenia, being
or some other kind of psychosis.
Some kind of psychosis. Her family says she didn't have a history of mental illness. But if you watch the video, it's very terrifying. What's more terrifying is that later, her body was actually found in the wall.
It's the part where she hides up in the corner.
Yeah, that's scary. Like she's hiding from something.
I have it paused. Okay, I'm going again.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead and tell everybody what you're watching.
Well, not right now.
Tell them what you're watching.
Okay, so she had peered out, and then, like she had thought she had saw something, and
she
then
looks
ducked
terrified
back,
as fuck, right?
And then she goes in the corner, and now the doors for some reason are not closing, and she goes out in between the doors. She's not touching the sides of the doors, not impeding the closing of the doors, but she is staring out. She's looking from one direction, then she goes the other direction. She's checking out to see if anything is there. She actually steps completely out of the elevator. And now, Chewy, I don't know if I should narrate this whole thing because this is a 4-minute video. Because right now she's standing outside of the elevator, and I don't know if she goes back in any minute soon.
Okay, so basically that's what it is. It's a whole terrifying video of this poor girl. There's no sound of her just being scared out of her mind. Well,
her being weird,
very
let's
weird.
say.
A lot of erratic movements coming from her. She went missing after that, and she was never seen after this video.
She comes back in, and she's just pressing every button.
Yeah.
Not in a fast pace, but she's pressing buttons to just... I don't know if she's just trying to get the door closed, or if she's... I don't know what she's doing. But the door's still not closing, and she just keeps on looking out. And even when she steps out, she was stepped out for a long time. The door didn't close behind her. Now, here's where she looks like she's talking to somebody. And she's waving her hands like, no, and then explaining something to them. But, yeah.
So, she went missing after that. She was never to be seen again. And it was later found out that she was actually inside of... If you're older buildings, because they're high-rises, they need water tanks at the top of them to have the water flow down. That's just how older buildings work. This was an older building. And she was found in the water tank. And the reason they found that out is because people were...
She was in the water tank naked.
Yeah, naked. So the reason people found this out is because people were complaining, hey, our water, when we turn it on for the shower, is black. And it stinks. And they're like, oh, we're bad, or my bad. Like, it would go back to clear. So there's actually a account of this. And Sabrina Baugh says, the shower was awful. We spent 8 days there during the investigation. When you turned the tap water on, the water was coming out black for 2 seconds and then would go back to normal. The tap water tasted horrible, Baugh said. It had a very strange taste. I could barely describe it. But for a week, there was never a complaint. For a week, she was still fine. Like, she wasn't, like, decomposing yet. But after a week, the water was coming out black, and that sparked a hotel employee to go up there and see what's happening. So on the morning of February 19th, the hotel employee climbed to the roof, used a ladder to investigate the hotel's water storage tanks. And then that's where authorities found Lam's decomposing body. With a number of personal items were found nearby. After the autopsy, the death was labeled accidental. The tank had a metal latch that could be opened, but authorities said that the roof is secured with an alarm and a lock. So, if somebody would have walked up to the roof, the alarm and the lock would have gone off, So how did she get up there without anybody knowing? The single roof. So this place has a history. Are you familiar with Richard Ramirez, the Night Stalker, my cousin? I always just say that when I was a kid.
I love the Night Stalker. He looks like an old friend.
So the Night Stalker,
you know what I'm saying?
who was found guilty of 14 slayings in the 1980s, lived on the 14th floor for several months in 1985. And an international serial
be
killer.
drummed up as coincidence? I mean, who hasn't lived there for a couple of months? You know what I'm saying?
In the 80s, on the 1985, an international serial killer named Jack Unterweger was suspected of murdering 3 prostitutes during the time he lived there in 1991. He killed himself in jail in 1994. In 1962, a female occupant jumped out of the hotel's windows, killing herself and a pedestrian, which she landed upon. So that I've always wanted to actually. You can still stay there because it's still open. They're not going to abandon buildings.
Yeah, one of our friends stayed there.
Yeah, it's like a Hilton Marriott now or something. Like they changed the name. What is it? Like
I have no idea.
Wyndham Checker or something. It's a chain now. I've actually always wanted to stay there, and I think that would be a good podcast to do it live.
Ooh, we should, dude.
A live podcast from the Cecile Hotel.
Maybe we'll do that next Halloween, at least in the October.
Ooh, that sounds good.
Oh yeah.
Shout out to Nick Sell.
Oh yeah.
So according to a ABC News article, as early as 2014, exorcisms have never been more popular. I found this on an article saying exorcism thriving in the U.S., says experts. Source, ABC News. The devil must be busier than ever in the new millennium. Exorcism, the ancient rite of casting out Satan and his demons from the souls of he possessed, is thriving in America. And long before recent revelations that Mother Teresa underwent one, and Pope John Paul II, shout out to him, performed the exorcism, it's a big phenomenon, says John Gordon Melton, a Methodist minister who directs at the Institute of Study of American Religion. Says exorcism in America. There's a lot of it going on.
Can I chime in?
Yeah.
Like oh shit! I was actually just at a house that had an exorcism performed.
Oh.
About a month or 2 ago. Yeah. The girl that lived there was describing about foots going up the steps and the door being jiggled open, nobody else being there. There's been more than that, though. I can't remember all the stories, but they had a bunch of stories about that house. They had to have the exorcism like 3 times. They actually had priests go over there to bless the house 3 times to try to exorcise the house in a way. I don't know if I believe in exorcisms. I mean, I don't believe in anything, though, is the thing.
Yeah, you're kind of a no fun done kind of guy.
Yeah. I feel like eventually everything could be drummed up by some explanation. But
I mean, exorcism could be drummed up always as mental illness.
Do other religions sanction exorcisms other than the Catholic Church?
I do.
You just said a Methodist, and Methodist people are very close to Catholicism. Their religion is almost exactly the same, minus a few things.
Closer to home, experts say exorcism is increasingly widespread. Different denominations, hundreds of exorcisms. Exorcism is more readily available today in the United States than perhaps ever before, writes Michael Cueno,
I feel like
sociologist
that
at Fordham University.
Feeds into people's...
In a newly published book, American Exorcism.
You see, that's my problem, is that I feel like people's random bumps in the nights, creaks of the home, they're just like assuming it's a possession of some kind or some kind of poltergeist, and they immediately go to their pastor or priest and ask for this service. I don't know, man.
So in 2014, this is a different story here. Indianapolis exorcisms. 2014, a family terrorized by 3 children alleged possessed by demons.
Children are way scarier than adults. I'll
Oh,
just
yeah.
put that out there.
The account of Latoya Ammons and her family tells disturbing stories of children climbing the walls, getting thrown across rooms, the children threatening doctors in deep, unnatural voices. It would seem something straight out of a movie, except all of these accounts were more or less corroborated in a nearly 800-page of official records obtained by the Indianapolis Star and recounted more than a dozen interviews with police, DSC, personal psychologists, family members, and Catholic priests. One of the more chilling sections of the report is a segment that that possessed a 9-year-old. According to Washington's original DSC report, an account collaborated with by Walker, the nurse, a 9-year-old had a, quote, weird grin and walked backwards up the wall to the ceiling. He then flipped over Campbell, landing on his feet. He never let go of his grandmother's hand.
Hey, I have a question about that.
Hold on.
How old?
Hold on,
what year
hold
was
on,
that?
hold on.
What year was that?
2014.
Okay, I have some problems with it.
Another
Okay.
segment of the piece reads, a 12-year-old would let her mental health professionals that she sometimes felt that she was being choked and held down so she couldn't speak or move. She said that hearing a voice that she could never see her family ever again wouldn't leave for 20 minutes. The devil must be busier than ever.
Here's my problem with that. I know that was 2014. Phones weren't
I mean, you can blame Obama.
like how they are now, but they're still pretty good in 2014. Never have I seen a very convincing video that was just like, dang, there's something definitely supernatural about that. I have never. Everybody records every inconsequential thing. Everybody videotapes things that are stupid or amazing or just I mean, everybody videotapes everything. People take pictures of everything. I've never seen any proof from somebody's camera phone, which is readily available on everybody, that just said, "Wow, that's
the devil's smart.
that's
dude.
unexplainable."
He doesn't want to be seen, bro.
No, man. If anything, why wouldn't he want to be seen to prove that he's real? You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Anyways, that's my problem with things. It's just that with the modern world and the modern technology that we have, and this even goes with aliens. I fucking always believed in aliens when I was a kid.
Bro, aliens exist.
And they probably do. But
Shout
have
out
they
to
come
Tom
here?
DeLonge.
Oh, dude, have you seen his new thing?
No.
Bro, he's got a whole organization set up, and like it's a legit organization of
Hey,
like.
let's go hang out with that
like
guy.
he's trying to
in
he's
downtown
trying
Sanders so he can meet Tom DeLonge.
no, dude, it's beyond that guy. Like he has like physicists involved with this shit, trying to prove the existence of aliens.
Oof.
and like, well, I mean, you'll research that later, but yeah, dude, that guy's getting onto
I
another
don't know
level.
who Tom DeLonge is. He's a ex-guitarist from Blink-182 who quit Blink-182 because he thought that he was possessed by aliens.
Bro, dude, I mean, I'm not saying he's like Elon Musk, with a spaceship, but like he's getting there right now with his organization. Like he's getting on that Elon Musk level. You know what I'm saying? Anyways, I'm two 25-ounce Bud Ices in and talking a little dumb, but I'm just saying, Elon Musk level, dude.
Yeah.
It's getting there.
But you don't believe in exorcisms then? You don't think people can be possessed by demons?
I'm not
You don't
saying
believe
that
the
they
ABC
can't.
News that...
I'm not saying that that hasn't happened. I'm just saying I've never seen proof of it happening.
I mean, it would be cool to see a
Everything's-
video of a person crawling up a wall.
Oh, dude, if I saw somebody like crawling up a wall and then they were like on the wall upside down and their head just started turning around,
I think the
I'd
world
be
would
like,
turn upside down if that video came out.
dude, if that video came out, and I would be like, there's no way that's video, like
I would go back to
trickery.
church.
I definitely would go back to church, man. I would be like, shit.
I would go confess.
Hey, maybe that's why the devil doesn't want to be seen. You know what I'm saying? I already start repenting and shit. You know what I'm
devil's taking
saying?
names,
You know what I'm
bro.
saying? Devil's taking names. God and the devil are raging inside of me. What? Damn, dude, I really wish we saw them about a month ago.
I know. I really hate you that we didn't go to brand new.
But I mean, it wasn't just brand new. It was a whole festival with a lot of our favorite bands.
If you don't listen to brand new, pause this and go listen to brand new. The brand new is what made me as an adult.
I mean, you could really listen to any era of their albums, whether it's just their pop punk, your new favorite weapon, or
start at your
if
new
you want to get
weapon.
to their more. I would start with Deja Intuendo. Intendu. Dude, I don't know Latin, bro. I'm not into all of the exorcisms. If you start with Deja Intuendo.
Don't start with that.
I think you should.
Start with your favorite weapon.
And then move your way back to your favorite weapon.
And then stop there because they sucked after that.
No, dude. Devil and the God of Raging Inside Me?
Oh, yeah.
That's a great album. And I haven't heard the latest album, but I hear it's great.
I am heaven sent.
Have you heard the latest album?
Don't you dare forget.
Anyways,
I am all you've ever wanted.
Anyways,
what all the
I think some of the people that are not pop punk fans would not like or appreciate them with the first album. I think if they start with the second album, that's accessible to all kinds of people.
Well, it's just sad people.
And then they move their way back to the pop punk. I think then they'll understand and accept
some
it.
Brand new.
Honestly, if you could get the costume set up on the album cover
we should do that. That should be our
cover
for our podcast, our thumbnail.
Dude, that's sick.
Just Nestor holding a pumpkin and us on the. Look at the cover.
I still got some robes, dude, from my old Halloween days.
So, Mike, what are your last thoughts?
I'll
leave you with one last thought.
My last thoughts are, Halloween, whether you're gonna, enjoy it for campiness or horror or, just having a good drunk time. It's a great time of the year. You should enjoy this time of the year. It's fucking fun, It leads into the rest of the year. It gives you something to hope for the next year, too. Halloween is great.
Halloween's great.
I remember Halloween.
Bonfires.
Coats on Danzig, you know what I'm saying? Know what I'm saying?
Candy apples and razor blades. I'll leave you with one final thought. Fuck the Dodgers. Until next time.
Oh, yeah. We didn't get on that, but fuck the Dodgers.
Goodbye.